Hello and welcome to Teleislas News, the most relevant and important news of the day.
In an interview with Teleislas News, the manager of the departmental social state enterprise, Hilary Rodriguez, made known if there really have been mass layoffs and how the process is going at the departmental hospital.
In recent days, workers of the departmental hospital have expressed their dissatisfaction with the alleged mass layoff that have been made, as well as the alleged mistreatment they have been having by manager of the departmental state social enterprise.
The E.S.E, or Social State Enterprise, is a decentralized entity that is born from the creation of the Ordinance 5 of 2020. The E.S.E begins the process of linking the staffs or employee that is on full-time position according to the Board of Directors that have approved the respective agreements 2 and 3 of 2020. Effectively, what is done is to link the number of personnel according to the full-time positions. Once that full-time position is filled, there is no longer the possibility of creating any more positions.
The company started working with the number of positions created. The manager stated that if along the way the need for more personnel becomes evident, the management will make the planning to the board of directors to determine if it is approved or not. In the same way, this new creation of position depends on the financial movement of the company to be able to support the new positions.
The E.S.E as such has not made layoffs of the 416 positions that were foreseen by the E.S.E. These are still occupied by people who have been appointed and taken position in the different positions, and the people are in office and are currently working at the E.S.E.
Similarly, hospital workers at the time stated that they did not have supplies such as gloves to carry out their daily activities. However, the hospital manager said that this was due to the fact that this material was out of stock at the national level. However, they have done everything possible to keep the hospital supplied, and this has been fulfilled.
And the Minister of Transport arrived on the island to inspect the reconstruction works that starts in the department.
The Minister of Transportation, Angela Maria Orozco, made a comprehensive visit to the works being carried out in the department in the framework of the compliance with the 100-day plans, with the objective of verifying the progress of the repairs works. The head of the Transportation Office made a report on the execution of the works.
Como ustedes saben,
As you know, there were very serious damages in 20 of the 28 kilometers of the bypass or encircle road of Old Providence. We identified 100 critical points. We prioritized the most difficult ones to intervene first. In the first week, we guaranteed the transit, which was the important thing, and we started to intervene. We have for the plan of the 100 days, 20 critical points that are going to be fulfilled and intervened as you have been seeing the development. I think we will deliver more critical points, and we are complying in full and on time with the total chronogram for August.
The Minister of Transportation developed a work table with the Governor and the Secretary of Infrastructure to execute the pending projects that are part of the department's road plan.
And continuing with the topics dealt with during the press conference led by the Minister of Transportation on the control tower and the Gustavo Rojas Pinilla Airport repairs, the minister indicated that the new tower is expected to be delivered in November and that important interventions will be made to the airport.
To deliver the new control tower in the month of November and to have an optimal and competitive airport of international standard are the two objectives of the Ministry of Transport, as stated by its leader, Angela Maria Orozco.
We have a slight delay in the new tower, but the contractor has committed himself to present to us how to avoid delays to deliver the new tower in November, which, as you know, was a short-term structural intervention. We have the commitment to work quickly to move forward and make feasible an exchange of land between the Aerocivil and the government. Since our commitment is to take out the bid this year and that there is competition to achieve an operator, hopefully with international experience in world-class tourist airports, to make important intervention and have a competitive airport at the level of the Caribbean islands.
She highlighted the importance of the Gustavo Rojas Pinilla International Airport for the tourist and economic reactivation of the archipelago, taking into account that it is the first phase that visitors see in the department, which is why it must be in optimal condition, so they have prioritized and will continue to work on the repair of the airport.
We made investments in the rehabilitation of the batteries, in the new chairs, and in the new roof. All these issues were priority for the national government. It was an investment of more than 40,000 million pesos.
Orozco Gomez emphasized that some land are needed to make the public-private alliance that will allow to have an airport of international stature.
The departmental government announced the deployment of the Safe Travel Plan for Easter week and indicated the measures to be implemented on the island during the long weekend.
The departmental government announced the beginning of the Holy Week in the archipelago under the strategy Safe Travel, which seeks to ensure safety on the road, tourist sites, environmental protection, and ensure compliance with the rules and all biosecurity measures. The Secretary of Government invites citizens to make respectful use of the public space.
One of the factors that alter the ecosystem is noise. Let's be respectful of the volumes of music used at shared places so that this department can continue to have its doors open to all visitors. It is important that we take into account compliance with all protocols. If we are going to make use of spaces such as the pedestrian walkway, let's do it in a respectful way, not with loud music, nor converting the public space into an individual space and our disco. When we are going to make use of our beautiful sea, let's pick up our garbage, please. And remember that the use of the beaches will only be until 5 in the afternoon.
On the other hand, the Air Force and the Navy announced the support of the National Police to ensure security during the Holy Week. During the Holy Week will be deployed on the island plans of registration, control, and request to people and vehicles, deployment of the plan balisa, transmitting information by means of a megaphone, and control of fauna and flora.
And in other news, a fire was recorded in the morning hours on several boats on the beach south of the island.
At approximately 12:37 in the morning, inhabitants of the sector of San Luis reported to the authorities the burning of 4 boats located on the beach of the apartments Chamay Nautica, where units of the fire station managed to contain the conflagration that left no injured people. The National Police indicated through a statement that is advancing investigation supported by the review of the video surveillance cameras and the neighborhood work. It should be noted that this journalistic host communicated with the owner of the place, who decided not to comment on the matter. This journalistic host will be attentive to the evolution of this newsworthy event.
Now we continue with news from the sister island of Old Providence. Yesterday was the beginning of the massive vaccination day against COVID-19 in Old Providence. The day was for the entire population over 18 years of age. Today the vaccinations continued in the different sectors and with groups visiting people who cannot leave their homes.
As was announced recently, more than 4,000 doses of CoronaVac arrived in the municipality this weekend, and the community has been going out to the 3 different points on the island to be inoculated against the coronavirus.
Well, we start the schedule yesterday, Sunday, so we went work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We want to have every day, we want to have 3 puntos de vacunación by different sections. And we have 2 teams that go in house by house.
These vaccinations take place in the midst of an announcement of a new rise in the numbers of active infections in the municipality.
Continue using biosecurity measures. Let's not lower our guard. Today we woke up with 7 active cases of COVID-19 in our community, so it is important to get vaccinated and not lower our guard.
More than 700 doses have been administered so far.
634 doses applied Sunday. The community of Providence and Catalina accepting this vaccination. Independent of all the negative commentation.
On Sunday, 634 people were vaccinated. So far today, Monday, at this point where I am supervising, we have applied 110 doses.
Tomorrow, the vaccination points will be Southwest Bay, the court in the mountain section, and the Lazy Hill Catholic Church.
I think it is a great opportunity for people to access the vaccine and responsibly continue with self-care practices such as hand washing and the use of masks and social distancing.
And after being officially out of service for more than a year due to the COVID pandemic and then the effects of Hurricane Iota, the Catamaran returns to Old Providence.
Affected by the pandemic and then by Hurricane Iota, the company Conocemos Navegamos that connects the islands by Catamaran has been officially unable to start their engines for more than a year. The lack of passengers have taken the company and its workers through a painful process both emotionally and financially.
Más de un año sin poder trabajar con la excepción de uno que otro viaje.
More than a year without being able to work except for occasional humanitarian trip. and after the hurricane hit, we helped out a little. But as a company facing the pandemic and added to that, the effects of the hurricane, obviously that we are very affected.
The company, which employs 25 directly and about 60 indirectly, will begin a new process this April 9th.
Dependemos de, pues básicamente de la
We depend basically on if the community welcomes our ship again, and from there we will look at how things progresses.
Poder arrancar, demostrar a las personas que realmente
to be able to start showing people that we are really here to provide support. We can't forget about Providence. So our pilot plan is to start on April 9th, every Friday, and then we will be looking to see what we can do from there on.
We'll begin a new process this 9th of April.
el Catamaran fue una de las
The Catamaran was one of the first companies to show its biosecurity protocols so that the departmental government could give us free passes to transport people. In the boats, we have the biosecurity measures of distancing, washing your hands with antibacterial, and we always demand the mask or mouth covers.
With the return of Catamaran to the islands, little by little the transportation and the economic reactivation of Old Providence begins to take shape.
Now we continue with all the cultural news from the island. The Cultural Center of the Banco de la República opened a free space via streaming where those interested can learn about music production with one of the most recognized exponents of the archipelago. Here is the note.
The free music production workshop in charge of the Cultural Center Banco de la República began last Friday from 2 to 6 p.m. and is chaired by music producer Adriana Rieta, better known as Mr. Pomps, who explained a little more about what it is all about.
Bueno, quiero invitar a todos a este taller que se está dando.
I want to invite everyone to this workshop that is being given via streaming for you to enjoy it. It's a music production workshop. Here we will talk about mixing, recording, mastering, how to create a song, how to compose a song. And well, we are inviting all the people who are interested in being part of this, where we still have 2 days of workshop left, which is today, Monday, and tomorrow, Tuesday. You can enter my profile, Mr. Pomps or Mr. Pomps Edran, on Facebook and get the details of the workshop. There is the link, so you can log in from home and learn a little bit more about music production and Mr. Pomps' secret and how he has achieved his success making music nationally and internationally.
And to learn a little more about urban arts, the Cultural Center of the Bank of the Republic opened a workshop where an expert graffiti artist will expose his knowledge, in addition to our host artist, Jiggy Drama.
A conference on a new aesthetic expressions and urban arts will be exposed by artists Alfonso Malagon and Jiggy Drama this March the 31st to the platforms of the Cultural Center of the Banco de la República.
This conference is coming up, we invite Mr. Jiggy Drama, Heart and Liver. He don't need any presentation in the island. In the one singer, one artist, we build up in career for more than 20 years, and in this conference, when they teach and they share with us everything that he has learned through these years. Not only talk about the successes, but when they share with everybody that's interested in what you need to build an artistic career in this island, in the nation, and worldwide. Also, we have Pomps coming. His right name is Alfonso Malagon, and him is an artist, a graphic artist. He make graffiti, and he's well known for that in the country. But he also is an organizer of several hip-hop parties and activities in the country.
The Cultural Center will be announcing in advance the virtual platform that will be available to provide the conference to those who are interested.